Well, this is clearly the highest court in the land, and I think what a lot of Americans saw, and Susan Collins rightfully pointed out today, was that this fight was a culmination of a lot of things gone wrong, and some of that includes the fact that the letter from Dr. Blasey Ford came out so late. It was done without her consent. It was done outside of the normal parameters. There were many hours of one-on-one meetings. There are just a lot of questions about the way this was done, and that process casts doubt on this entire confirmation battle. But I do believe that Americans, again, once the Judge Kavanaugh hopefully is voted upon and confirmed tomorrow, and subsequently sworn in, that he'll be able to assume the full role, and Americans will have full faith in their judicial system.
From an outsider looking in, it seems that this whole process has it's been so bitter. It's created, or not, perhaps not created, but highlighted these intense divisions. But it also seems to have galvanized people in terms of saying, we believe Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, we believe survivors. Do you think that this has highlighted divisions in American society?
Well, this is a battle we've been fighting in America for a number of years now. And the Me Too movement and those who are sexual assault survivors have found new voice. But at the same time, there's also been, with those allegations and the people who have been convicted of that, most recently, we've seen in the news people like Bill Cosby, there's also been very high-profile cases where the accusations have been incorrect. And I think the real disservice here is the fact that whatever allegations, were brought against Judge Kavanaugh was done in such a politically shady manner. Again, this was not brought up.
I'm interested, did you believe Dr. Christine Blasey Ford?
I believe that something happened to her. I believe that at some point in her life, she probably did suffer from sexual abuse. But again, in this country, we do have the presumption that you are innocent until proven guilty. And unfortunately, none of the investigations, none of the evidence that she was able to provide actually corroborated this. And
so you're saying her word was not enough?
I believe that she was sexually assaulted at some point in her life, but in this country, the first rule of law is you're innocent until proven guilty, and there was no proof that Judge Kavanaugh at any point in time was proven guilty that would prevent him from actually being able to be seated on the high court.
There have been some questions about the process. You say innocent until proven guilty. This was never a court of law. This is the nomination of a Supreme Court justice who will be there for the rest of his life, and an FBI investigation which only lasted 1 week. What message do you think that this confirmation sends to young women who themselves have been the victims of situations similar to Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's?
In any situation, women need to come forward and feel empowered to come forward whenever a situation like this exists. And as you correctly pointed out, this was not a court of law. This was not a trial. The Senate only exists to provide advice and consent to the nomination of the President of the United States. And given the evidence that was presented, and given the detailed amount that the Senate did go and, again, offer her the opportunity to have Dr. Blasey Ford come forward and present, did extend the FBI investigation, there was not enough evidence to actually show that Judge Kavanaugh should not be seated and qualified to be seated as a Supreme Court nominee and a Supreme Court justice.